So we're going to try to keep our presentation short, perhaps 20 minutes or so. We do want everyone to have a good time, but please drink responsibly. Don't hesitate to ask any of our staff. They'd be glad to call a cab or arrange a ride for you. So raise your hand if you've been on a shop tour. So quite a few of you. That's great. We're hoping everyone who's interested has had the opportunity. They only take about 20 minutes, well, with some people. And it's a great way to become more familiar with our facility and capabilities. You'll notice that Universe Machine consists of 3 divisions managed independently under one roof: valve repair and modification, products division, and large machining and welding. If you missed going on a plant tour and still wish to do so, we'll still be doing several, starting from about 5:15 until the last tour leaves about 6. So Universe Machine appreciates that several local dignitaries have taken the time to attend our 50th celebrations, including MP Miss Linda Duncan, Councillor Mike Nicol, as well as MLA for Edmonton Mill Creek, Ms. Denise Woolard. So to get this presentation started, please welcome to the stage for a few words of congratulations from the province, Ms. Denise Woolard.
I'm just delighted to be here and to help with the celebration of the 50th anniversary of Universe Machines. It's a wonderful accomplishment and I'm just amazed. And the tour was enlightening, really, really interesting. So I also bring you congratulations from our Premier, Rachel Notley, and the Government of Alberta, and we're just delighted with what you've done and the wonderful facility you've built. So congratulations. And I have a certificate to give to, I guess this would be Mr. Flegel, to celebrate, to mark in honor of the occasion of this anniversary, or this accomplishment. Thank you.
We'll do a rerun.
Yeah, we've got a few more of those. So again, we're truly pleased and honored to have local government representatives here, and would now like to welcome to the stage Councillor Mike Nicol.
Dankeschön. Well, it is from one German to another. Happy 50th, right? And it is, I just turned 50 this year. And you know, it's quite funny in the fact that my father came over in the 50s from Germany, $18 in his pocket, started all his businesses, right? And we've been in business since 1960. And what a privilege and what an honor it is to see your facility and that you're still standing. That is a true accomplishment. There are not many businesses left anymore that are 50 years old, are there? You know, it's just so, on behalf of City Council and myself, and even from one German to another, I want to say congratulations, because it is a real testament because of all the booms, the busts, the hard times, the good times. And we all know that it's important to remember the good times, because the hard times we know are always just around the corner. So that's what I always tell my brother, but he never listens to me anyways. And you know how it is when family's in business, right? And that's why I have no hair today. So I just put it that way. So I'm up here today to give you a certificate too. So you're going to bring that up here too. So on behalf of City Council and the people of Edmonton, I would like to congratulate Universe Machine Corporation on its 50th anniversary. And I wish you 50 more, if not more. And you know what? Congratulations to you too.
So we do have one more dignitary, MP Miss Linda Duncan, so she's gonna go next.
Well, according to protocol, I'm not really here as your member of parliament, even if I was for 6.5 years. I'm simply a candidate. But I did prepare a plaque for you before the election was called, and so I'm going to provide it to you. My family also comes of German roots, but we came in 1774 to New Brunswick and then spread across the continent. So, but we're returning the favor to Germany because my niece is studying in Münster this year. So there you are. We educate and then we send back, and then hopefully we'll get her back with all that German expertise. She's actually studying industrial design. Absolutely, totally proud of this company. Why? Because it's family owned, it's continued to be family owned, employing 140 Edmontonians. What more could we ask? That is the root of the Canadian economy. So I congratulate you, senior and junior. And I also have a plaque to give to you congratulating you for your 50th anniversary. And I hope at least 50 more. How about 100 more?
Yeah, that's better. Everyone wants a photo.
Thank you. So for those of you who may not know, Kurt Feigl Jr. is the general manager and second generation owner of Universe Machine. His engineering technical skills and business acumen have certainly been put to good use here as he helped move Universe forward with their own line of unique patented oil field products, as well as implementing cutting edge computer technology throughout the company. Kurt and Judy's two older sons graduated from U of A Engineering, and their youngest son is in third year business. They're all following in dad and grandfather's footsteps and currently work in the family business or plan to work there. Kurt also happens to be my slightly older cousin. Yes, some would say Kurt's side inherited the good hair genes, but deep down everyone knows that bald is beautiful and sexy too. Well, it's low maintenance and aerodynamic for sure. But seriously, I'm grateful to be part of the Universe family and having the opportunity to be here celebrating their 50th anniversary. I'd now like to invite Kurt Jr. to the stage to say a few words. Kurt Feigl Jr.
I have a speech here. I don't want to read it because when you read it, it's kind of boring. But I will glance at it occasionally to make sure I hit all the main points. It's quite amazing that we actually have all three levels of government here. You know, it just shows that they really do care and support private businesses like ours. And without the support and the freedoms they've afforded people like my dad to start a business, we wouldn't have the success that we have. So I want to thank you for coming out and taking time to see us. Okay, next point. So, you know, not only do our customers choose us, but we choose our customers. Now, I don't say that to be arrogant. I just say that because we like to work with like-minded people. You as customers and vendors have helped to make us successful, and in turn we want to also help you to be successful. And I just want to thank everybody that's come out to celebrate this day with us, and you are special to us. I want to thank our committee. About 8 months ago, we started to throw around ideas about how to celebrate this day. We definitely were going to put a celebration in place. So I want to make sure that I acknowledge them, their efforts. The committee consisted of Linda, Judy, Vlad, and Manish, and Ron. Now, if you guys could stand up or raise your hands, I just want to make sure people see who you are. Ron, Vlad, Judy, you can stand up. Linda is downstairs. Manish, are you here? Where is he?
He's downstairs.
He's downstairs. And also, today we had about 26 people, some volunteers, some staff, just contributing and making sure that this all goes pretty smooth. And so far, I think it has. I just thank everybody for the job that they've done. Let's give them a hand. Now, our strength, it comes from many things, but one thing it comes from is our long-term employees. The current longest-term serving employee is Kurt Sr., and you probably could guess how many years he's worked here. Our second longest-term employee, he retired about a year ago, and many of you know him, is JP Devois. And where were you? He's back there. He came back to... And he had worked here for 45 years, which is quite incredible. And I hope he's enjoying his retirement because he deserves it. Now, there's another employee. He doesn't know I'm going to do this. We haven't had a chance to present him his plaque. He started working for us in 1986. He helped us. He actually, the power tongs that you see on our products division, he brought that to us. And then one of our affiliate companies, Score Energy Products, he also connected us with the butterfly valves. So he did a lot of amazing things since 1986. He just snuck in the back there. He didn't even hear this. So I'd like to call Don up here to present him with that flag. So, on behalf of our company, we thank you for all those years of service, and we hope you enjoy your retirement. Now, business and religion are typically kept separate. However, one Christian principle that my parents taught me and our siblings was to treat other people like you want to be treated. And this is a principle that my dad actually, one of his main principles when he started this company, he tried to practice. And to this day, we try to have our staff practice that with our customers and our vendors. And that has also led to the success of our company, is just that principle. And I want to thank you for teaching me that, Mom and Dad. Now this is where I might maybe get a little emotional. Let's see what happens here. My mom, when we were younger, she told me that in the first year of business, at times there wasn't enough money to buy groceries. I remember as a young child also, many nights my dad wasn't home. He would be working on rush jobs to try to look after our customers' needs and of course make money, right? So, and what I'm getting at here is the biggest and best supporter of our business really is my mom. She was at home. She took care of the kids while my dad was gone working many hours, especially in those early years. At least I recall some of that, and I do appreciate that. And I just want to honor the real boss, and that's my mom. Would you please come up here right now?
Oma's rule.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming here today and for celebrating this day with us as the Feigl family. For those who don't know, I'm Dave Feigl. I am Kurt's much younger brother. Actually, we share a birthday together, 8 years apart, and it's kind of quite interesting. I'm actually his birthday present. And or you can look at it as we're twins 8 years apart. So love you, brother, and those were very kind and very truthful words that you shared. Congrats, Mom and Dad and Judy and Kurt and the entire Universe family on this amazing milestone. I had the privilege of working directly for Universe Machine for over 20 years, and I enjoyed it immensely. I loved working together with the staff. I loved working together with the clients and customers and suppliers. And about a year and a half ago, through succession planning, we did some changes, and I'm enjoying my new role. I'm with Feigl Investments now, but I'm still here, hanging my hat here, and I love being here and seeing all the faces, and still working together with Kurt and with Dad. So it really is a privilege to be part of this organization. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for what you've done. And there's also another unsung hero, and that's my sister Connie. Connie's quietly been involved and behind the scenes supporting us through the many years. She always backed us with the decisions we made, and she gave us good insight. She just never gives herself enough credit for that. So Connie, thank you. Love ya. I'm going to back up a handful of years and start with a little bit of my dad's past. His family, they went through a lot of misfortune, which a lot of families did in Europe due to the war. Dad and his family, they were refugees within their own country because they lived abroad, and then they were forced back into Germany. They came back, left everything that they had behind. My Opa, my dad's dad, he was a very successful farmer. He was even a mayor of the area that they lived in, and they had to leave that all behind and had nothing when they got back to Germany. Dad recently shared some other stories. Due to the war, his father was very ill and couldn't work, so it left basically the raising of earning of money to my Oma. And Dad shared a story with me just recently about when him and his brother Eric was a few years older, which is Ron Feigl's dad. They had to go and wait in food lines. Dad was, I believe, 5 years old, and his brother Eric was 7, was there to go with him and babysit him. Mom was working, and Dad says there was times he would be waiting in line for anywhere from 6 to 8 hours for food, and they would get too close to the front of the line and there was no food left. And at a very young age, Dad basically made a pact with himself that he's never going to live like that again, and his kids won't live like that either. And Dad, we've never been hungry. We appreciate all you've done, and the drive that those very tough times have given you. It built a lot of character, and obviously the success of everything you've built here shows that. So Dad, I love you and thank you so much. not to dwell on any kind of negativity because there's lots of sad stories, but these things gave Dad drive, as I'd mentioned, and it forced him into becoming a young businessman. When he was 8-9 years old, he started finding used old bikes and rebuilding them, selling them, making some money that way. He bought some rabbits, raised rabbits. Well, rabbits making lots and lots of rabbits. So he got very good at that, and he would skin them. The family would eat the meat, and he would take the furs to the local market on the weekend, and he would sell that. So there was business in him at a very young age. He left home at the age of 14, which some of you have children. You imagine your child leaving home at 14. He left at 14 to move to the big city and start his apprenticeship in machining. And from there, he took engineering in night school and took welding because he figured the more education he can get, the more opportunity that will create. And through that, this leads me to something special here for you, Dad, that was done. So at this point in time in our event, I'd like to call up Matt Sherlock and Conrad Feigl. Matt Sherlock is the son of Gary Sherlock. Gary Sherlock is one of the division managers here at Universe Machine. And Matt is also the grandson to Pete Sherlock, who was one of Dad's business partners that they started Universe Machine together. We known him as Uncle Pete, and we miss him dearly. And Conrad is son of Kurt, many of you know that, and the son of Judy as well. And he's in engineering, and he's obviously the grandson of Kurt, and he's actually at PN, correct me, sorry. And he's in his, I think you're 3 years of engineering now. You've been at PN?
3.5.
Yeah.
It's almost there. Half a year more.
Okay, half a year. All right. But anyways, at this time they have a presentation. So is there anything you would like to say, or do you want to just present?
Just present.
Okay. So where's Ron? Maybe we'll bring Ron up here.
Well, just come on over here. Come pull it over.
So
Basically, it's
they
under here.
they put something together for you, Dad, and then I'll explain what that is.
Ready to pull it off?
Okay, go for it, guys.
Here we go. Oh. Oh.
So it's a gold-plated tapping handle.
Hold it. Bring it up to the stage.
And yeah, why don't you bring it over here? Bring it up on the stage so everyone can see.
Don't drop it. Do not drop into it.
Hold it up, so people can see that.
So, Universe Machine Corporation, 50th anniversary, 2015 founder, Kurt Feigl Sr. So, between the two boys and Ron Feigl, they had this plaque made up, and they had the tapping handle gold plated. But there's history behind that tapping handle. That's one of the projects that you made in Germany when you were apprenticing, and Dad brought that along from Germany, and then he even used it. I remember it was even in our garage at home. You brought it back home a number of years later, and I said, Dad, why would you use this tapping handle? I mean, you made this by hand. It's kind of a keepsake. And he says, in the early days, we didn't have money to dish out for another tapping handle, so that's the one we used in the shop. So, anyways, we cleaned it up and gold plated it. Why don't you come, Dad, and they're gonna just present this to you.
Thank you, guys. That was the piece I made when I made my test as a journeyman apprentice. When I finished my apprenticeship, when I made the test as a journeyman machinist. So that was the test piece. And if you can even figure it out, that was done in now let me think a little bit, 1959.
Yeah, and he passed. Probably the highest mark in the class too, right, Dad?
No, I don't think it was the highest mark, but I was close to the top. But thank you very much, boys, David, Kurt, appreciate it. That's a big surprise, definitely.
All right, congratulations, Dad. Now, without further ado, I just want to say one quick thing here. Kurt and Judy and your family, I am really excited for you guys and what the future holds for Universe Machine. You guys are definitely going to bring it to a whole new level, and we're excited to see that and be part of it still. So, congrats, you guys. And thank you again, everyone, for coming. Ron Feigl is going to continue on with the program. Thanks, Ron.
No, I'm trying here. I know this was supposed to be a surprise for Kurt, and then the other day on Saturday, we were kind of bored, and I said to Kurt, we should really clean up that garage. I said, winter is coming. And then all of a sudden I thought to myself, he's going to be looking for that special tool. So I said to him, I don't really feel like it now. I said, let's move it to next week. So it would have been, you would have looked for it, I know. So thank you, kids.
Thank you. Did I turn it off? Nope. So one thing you don't know about that tapping handle, that was assembled amazingly well. I think there was about 3/1000 of an inch clearance area. It was a perfect slide fit. So you couldn't gold plate it like that, otherwise it won't work. So we had to actually remove material and then put it all back together. But it still works, so you can use it if you need it. Okay, so we've come down to the next section here. Universe Machine founder and president, Kurt Feigl Sr. As you already know, he's been working here for every single one of the 50 years since 1965. He hasn't really taken much time off other than vacations. I think it must be rare for the founder of any company to still be actively involved 50 years later. While Kurt Sr. has officially handed the day-to-day affairs over to Kurt Jr., you can still find him in the office most days, mentoring the next two generations of family and staff. His office is always open, and he has the reputation of taking time to lend an ear or a helping hand wherever necessary. Kurt Sr. doesn't always say much, but when he does, his wise advice has been invaluable. Kurt has always believed in giving back. Wherever possible, he has been generous to staff, many charities, and probably even some lost causes. Kurt Sr. is also one of the original founders of the nonprofit Shepherd's Care Foundation over 45 years ago, and is still a senior board member helping guide their future charitable endeavors. Shepherd's Care Foundation is now comprised of 6 senior care centers in Alberta. They care for 1,700 seniors and employ 700 staff. Please help me to welcome to the stage Universe Machine founder, Kurt Feigl Sr.
Now we heard a number of speeches. I have one that will probably not take any longer than about 3/4 hours, or is that okay? No, don't worry. I wrote some things down, but I don't like reading when I'm talking, so I never learned that ability to do that. I'm not a politician. Politicians, I heard, are pretty good at that. Well, I guess I didn't have enough practice. I had to work. Well, special guest, it's appreciated that you made out time to come here. Customers, suppliers, friends, and staff. I really appreciated that you took time out of your busy schedules, because everybody's busy these days, trying to do things that have to be done, and a lot of you are quite involved in the companies that you're working for or owning the companies. And it's a busy time trying to make ends meet because things have slowed down a little bit. Now, I don't know who we can really thank for that. If we're partially to blame in Canada or States, or maybe let's blame the Middle East for these low oil prices. So, but eventually I can tell you, they will come back up. Because I went through this since I'm around for 50 years. I've been through this a number of times before. So, if anything, it'll make us stronger on the end. Sometimes to a little slowdown, I think we were going too fast a little bit and maybe stumbling over our own feet here in Alberta. So a little bit of a slowdown, I think, is a good thing. Even so, we might not believe it right now, but I think it will. It gives us time, even in our company, to concentrate on R&D a little bit more, develop some of the products that we have, improve them. If you're too busy, you don't really have time or don't take time for that. So now we have time. So keep on coming to us. The products we produce will be better in the future. So you definitely, all of you were involved in enhancing our lives as a family to give us a chance to build a company like Universe Machine. So I'd like to thank you all for being involved, being a big part of it. That's why you're here. So I'd like to thank you for that. My principles in life, in business, but not only in business, in life overall, was like what Kurt Jr. already mentioned. Treat others the way you like to be treated. If you do that, eventually there's this table that turns around in life. You give long enough, that table will turn and will give back to you. So I must honestly say it has worked for me. So some of you that haven't tried that yet, but I think most of you have, you know what life is all about. But continue that. I think eventually, even if it sometimes takes a little longer, some of the tables are bigger, so it takes a little longer to turn around. Now, I'd like to say a couple of things about life that I thought were kind of neat. And one of them is when we started our company 50 years ago, I had a few bucks, but not very much really, because I only came to this country 5 years before that. In the meantime, I got married, bought a little house, and had a son, Kurt Jr. So as you can imagine, there probably wasn't too many dollars left over to start a business. So I went to a finance company and asked them if I could borrow a little bit of money to start this company. They said, well, now what guarantees do you have? Well, he says, I have a house, but I have a mortgage on there. Oh, he says, what is the house worth about? And how high is the mortgage? So then this fellow on the other side of the table said to me, oh, we can put a second mortgage on the house. And I was already a little bit upset when I came into his office, fairly elaborate office, sitting behind the desk. He never offered me to sit down. So I didn't really like that too much to start out with, so I wasn't on good terms already with him. Even so I should be, because I'm the one that wants to borrow money, right? So I said, well, the next thing you're going to ask me is a second mortgage on my wife. So you can imagine how that went over. He said, I tell you something, young man. I'm sitting on this side of the table, and you're standing on the other side, and you're the one that wants some money. And I said, thank you very much. I don't think this discussion has ended. And I left. Now what to do now? That's where the friends came in. I had good friends that borrowed me some money, helped me along. So that's where it all started. So I thought, to give you a little bit of an idea, it was not that easy, as you already heard from my oldest son. Any beginning is hard. and many of you probably went through that, so you know. I don't tell you something new. Another story I like to tell you about is 48 years later. We were gonna be married 52 years, or we were married 52 years. At that time, we were gonna celebrate our 50th wedding anniversary. So my oldest grandson, he works for us here, Nathan Conrad. He came into my office and then he said to me, he said, "Opa, what do you think? You're gonna be married now 50 years. You think it's time to retire?" I thought for a minute and I said, why would I do a dumb thing like that and wreck a good marriage? Now, Kurt already mentioned a number of people that were involved in putting this beautiful setting together for our 50th anniversary. Thank you to all of them. But I'd like not to forget, Judy was very active in the last while here, being involved, and I really appreciate Judy. And Kurt behind the scene kept pushing and telling Judy, don't do this and don't do that, but in the end, he always agreed with her anyway. I don't know if that's a man thing, but at least you gotta voice your opinion, right? So, thank you, Judy. Thank you, Kurt. I must honestly say, it was a great pleasure to work, to have my two sons, David and Kurt, or Kurt and David, I should say, because he was the first one, right? On my side, building this company was, without them, it would have been a lot tougher and we wouldn't be where we are today. But I also like to thank their wives standing behind them. And of course my lovely daughter, Connie. She's quiet, like was mentioned already, but she can voice her opinion, believe me. And it helped at times, because as men, we always need some women around us to tell us when we're wrong, right? So that might sound rude, but actually it helped me a lot of times, because Erna is in the same shoes. She told me a number of times to Kurt, maybe you should do this and that. I think what you're trying to do is the wrong thing to do. Most of the time I listen to her, maybe not all the time. So I definitely, it was fun over the years to work together with my sons, and it was a pleasure, and will continue. Now today you were talking in a little group there when people came in the door, and then somebody said, well, Kurt is the pillar of universe, David is the pillar of Feigl, and this person said, and I guess you're in between holding the two pillars up. But they're quite capable of doing their own pillar work, so I don't think they need the holding up of my help. But it's nice to be involved, to be needed. I think we all need that in our lives. Be needed is a good thing. So now we come down to the most important person, of course, in my life, which is Erna. We've been married for 62 years, as I mentioned. Sorry. No, I'm not quite that old. I look really old. I had tough years, so that's why I look old.
It's just a guy thing.
So it was 52 years, and supporting me, and at times it was, as it was mentioned already, we went through thick and thin over the first. Especially the first 6 months were, I think, probably the roughest. But after that things starting to fall in place. And I proudly can say, since even I have the book out to prove it, I have a statement on the table if you like to see it. That was the first year, the balance sheet and the profit and loss statement. And the first year of operation was $98,000 total sales, but we made $17,000 profit. So those numbers might sound pretty small in these days, but in those days, for a small company, it was pretty good, especially when you make close to about 20% profit. So I'm kind of proud of that. I know you're not supposed to be proud, but there are certain things I'm proud of. So, the family, the kids, the grandkids, of course, it's a pleasure to not only have my sons, but now my grandsons in the company and working along. And there's others, as was said already before, we have a number of people here in this company that work in here, third generation. Sorry, but I'm proud of that too. Very proud. Now coming close to the end, because you're all bored and you're probably ready for another drink or a beer or whatever. So I just like to thank you all for coming out, for making this happen, and I'm very proud of all of you too. Not only my family, you're like an extended family. Without all of you, this definitely would not have happened. So thank you very much, and God bless you all.